Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today I am fully prepared to cook. I am fully prepared to come out here and deal business because today we're going to talk about why Payne is underrated and by the majority of the debate or anime community is not seen as the GOAT that he truly is. Now, I'm going to make myself clear for this video. I am 100% open to engagement and being incorrect. I'm not one of these debaters who are going to come out here and say, I'm correct 100%. I really don't care. However, the way I see it, I cannot comprehend how Payne is not viewed in a higher form of power than he currently is by the majority of the Naruto fan base. But again, I am super down to hear conversations on why Payne isn't as strong as I may believe he is. However, I've looked up all the arguments, I've heard hundreds of videos on this, hundreds of takes on this, and I just don't get it. So here I'm going to give my case why I think Payne is ridiculously powerful, even beyond most of the cast. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's stronger than Madara or Hashirama or six past characters. I'm not going to go that far. But I think everyone else that isn't like 8 Gates Guy, Hashirama, Madara, Naruto, Sasuke, Kaguya, Kakashi, those uber top tiers, I think is free game for Payne to be stronger than them. So the first thing we're going to clarify is Payne's arsenal. Obviously, this is a big deal in determining how strong Payne is. He has the 6 main paths. Obviously, the animal path allows him to summon ridiculous summoning, some of the strongest in the series, and he could do this multiple times. Like, he summoned multiple at a time. The Asura path is very deadly. It's so powerful it completely tore Jiraiya's arm off in a single attack. Some fucking 4 tails level strength. Even more so because I'll get into that when I talk more about the Asura path, but there's a little sneak peek of what I'm going to get at. We then have the human path, is very strong. It's not the best one, but it's capable of absorbing souls, and it's an instant kill, so it's pretty good. We have the Preta path, who can absorb projectiles seemingly of no limits. He could just absorb anything, any attack, any projectile that's thrown his way, he can absorb it. There is then the Naraka path, who can revive all the other paths of Payne. Spoiler alert, he's the shittiest of them, but whatever, he's there to revive the other paths if need be. And then obviously, you have the absolute GOAT, that is the Diva path. Obviously, he can use Universal Pull, it brings people towards him, and Almighty Push, which push people away, Come over here, get the fuck off. So, the first thing, there's so much to get into, but the first thing I want to talk about is his battle with Jiraiya. This fight is just, the comprehensions, the beliefs that Jiraiya would beat the Paynes if he knew about the strategy. Man, I am so sick of this statement. This doesn't mean anything. First of all, we find out later that Sage Naruto surpassed Jiraiya. Okay, this is clear as day. This is told to us by the narrative. Yet I'm to believe that Naruto got washed by Payne. The fact that Jiraiya is weaker than that Naruto, and you believe he can beat this Payne, is ridiculous. Not to mention, I've heard a interpretation of the statement, which I agree with a lot. It is that if Jiraiya knew about the Paynes, it is possible he would have won, as in gather the information to defeat Nagato, the other body. Not that necessarily he would have defeated the 6 paths, but had he known the 6 paths abilities and weren't caught off guard, he could likely do a better job of evacuating right from the get-go and get to Nagato if need be. That is the best and most sensible interpretation of this entire situation. So, we're just going to move on from this. We're going to talk about how he stacks against the Sannin. I think this is the low end for Payne. Like, some people believe that some of the Sannin could beat Payne, and that's just ridiculous. We're going to talk about Orochimaru because he actually fights Orochimaru in the Storm games. One of the stories, which is approved and worked on by Kishimoto. Orochimaru gets washed. I mean, this is no surprise. Orochimaru stays getting washed. I mean, he lost to fucking, 14-year-old Itachi. There's no chance in hell he'd have against Payne. And Orochimaru Payne beat Orochimaru just as fast as Itachi did. And then we have Tsunade, who Tsunade is practically considered fodder. Like in the entire Payne arc, when he attacks the Leaf Village, Tsunade is pretty much fodder. She goes in there, and Naruto's first decree is to tell Tsunade, get the fuck out the way, because you're getting in my way. I have a strategy here. You're not going to be much help. Leave. And for those of you who believe Tsunade is strong enough to actually just fight Payne, and it was because, she was using chakra to, heal the others, Tsunade never went into the front lines. If she was that powerful to just beat Payne, she would have. She did not. So, Tsunade is practically fodder to Payne. Orochimaru got, he got his cheeks clapped. And Jiraiya, well, he got turned into a shish kebab. Now, before I get into direct scaling, I want to talk about the situation Payne found himself against Sage Naruto. For some reason, there are people who believe that Sage Naruto scales to Payne. No, he does not. For one, Payne had to fight everyone in the Leaf Village by himself. Okay? Konan didn't do anything. It was the Paths of Payne versus the Leaf Village. They were, they tried the Leaf Village got demolished. So not only did Payne use chakra to face the entire Leaf Village and, getting exhausted, he then uses the Almighty Push. Okay, this takes up a huge portion of his chakra to perform. And after all that, Naruto steps into the battlefield with the full intel and comrades, and it is still not enough. The great summonings, Gamabunta and shit, they get one-shotted by Payne. Okay, if you don't know how strong Gamabunta is, okay, Kabuto remarks in part 1 that Manda would kill Orochimaru if he found out he was sealed. And try to. And Kabuto was afraid of that possibility, okay? Manda being even close to Orochimaru and Gamabunta's close to Manda is insane. The summonings aren't that far behind from the Sannin, and Payne one-shots him indirectly. He's not even the main target. He's hitting multiple people, and Gamabunta's one-shotted by Payne. Now, even after Naruto has all this intel and prep time, he leaves the 2 shadow clones in Mount Myoboku. Keep in mind, they believe Sage Naruto surpassed Jiraiya at this point. Okay, that is not even a belief. That is a confirmation. They tell you he has surpassed Jiraiya. And even with prep time, intel, and comrades, it's not enough. Okay? Payne still wins. He still beats him. He puts him on the ground, and he gives the Cycle of Pain speech, right? So this is all while Payne is weakened, okay? And then you have him going into the Six Tails form, right? So this is now where we could jump into the battle against the Six Tails. Six Tails Naruto, okay, Four Tails Naruto's well beyond Orochimaru, okay? Some people would even scale that Orochimaru to Sage Jiraiya, okay? I don't know if I could agree with sealed Orochimaru being around being Sage Jiraiya level. Now, once you bring the 8-headed serpent, I think then that's when we say he's stronger than Sage Jiraiya. But, right, Six Tails Naruto, okay? He's fighting Payne, and he is beating the shit out of Payne. He's throwing him across places, and this just highlights Payne's durability. Jiraiya almost died by 3 tails. And you have double the tails, and he is firing mini Biju bombs, and Payne's just deflecting them and blocking them. He's slamming him through walls, slamming pillars on him, punching him in the face, and Payne is just chilling. But let's go ahead and move past that. I want to talk about Naruto reaching the level of both Jiraiya and Minato, because this is a big thing. It's a lot of contention over whether it's true or not, but I think most people will agree that he has surpassed Jiraiya when he becomes Sage Naruto. The interesting one becomes Minato because they use both of them as comparisons. Now, you can like what or don't not like what I have to say here, but Naruto surpassed Minato. Base Minato at this point. Not in speed, but in power. He did. The Rasen Shuriken, when he first did it, it was already then like being compared to Minato. Let alone by the time he becomes Sage Mode, yes, he has gotten to that point. Now that we've established that he has reached Minato's level, this brings us to our conversation of Payne versus Obito, because I think this conversation is really, really odd. So, I want to talk about the fabled Obito statement, okay? Minato says that Obito is a bigger threat than Payne is, and that he'd have to train more if he wants to defeat Obito. I'm sorry. What does that say? Like, Naruto couldn't beat Payne. He would need to train more to beat Payne. This isn't a lie. This doesn't mean Obito beats Payne. In fact, Minato never says that at all. He said he's a bigger threat, but that's because he is the mastermind. Of course he is. That's like saying, if there's a mixed martial artist coming after me, and, he's ready to whoop my ass, and then there's also a guy with a button to a nuke, and it's going to blow up my entire city, and he's willing to do it. Yes, the guy with the nuke is the bigger threat, but the mixed martial artist is still stronger than the guy with the nuke. It's the nuke that makes him stronger, just like Obito's master plan is what makes him a bigger threat. And again, Minato saying that Naruto has to train more, yeah, that's true, but it's also true for Payne because Naruto, in his current state, could not defeat Payne. So I don't know where that conversation even came from. It's nowhere close to saying Obito is stronger than Payne. In fact, if you really want to go into it, you don't have to use the guides, the character guides. The data books. I don't really like them because they say some ridiculous stuff. But it says Payne is the strongest Akatsuki member there. So if you're somebody who uses data books, you could take that into it. I don't really like them, but there's a little something. There's just a lot of proof. Just the way Obito spoke to Payne before, there seemed to be a level of respect. Like, he just clearly never wanted the smoke with Obito. With Payne, And now that we've talked about how Sage Naruto has surpassed Minato or is around his level, now we can just talk about Minato versus Obito, because Minato obliterated Obito. Okay? And if Sage Naruto's anywhere relative to that Minato, okay, I don't think he's stronger than him. I think Minato's still stronger, but they're comparable. Okay, I think Obito beats Sage Naruto, but it's still pretty close. So, if Sage Naruto is comparable to Minato, and Minato obliterated Obito, in fact, let's just say Minato and Obito were equal in that battle. Let's say they draw it, even though they didn't. Minato dog-walked them, but let's say they drew, right? You now have Sage Naruto who's close to Minato and Obito. Payne dogged him, while Sage Naruto had prep, intel, and Payne was exhausted from fighting everyone else in the village. And then, he fought the Six Tails and was prepared to defeat the Nine Tails. Okay? Ridiculous. It's not a close fight at all. Hell, you can even get into the fact that Minato might think Obito is stronger, even if you do look at that statement earlier. Minato could just think Obito is stronger because he still thinks he's Madara. Like, he doesn't know who he is. Not entirely, doesn't know his full potential. And just by Madara's legend alone, it would mean that he's ridiculously strong. And, I'm not one of these people who hates on Obito or thinks, he's like a ped. But, Obito is not that strong. Not Orange Mask Obito. His fight with Konan was embarrassing. And look, I know people say he underestimated Konan. Dude, Obito was the one guy, aside from Payne, who knew everything about Konan. Okay? And Konan outreacted to him. She reacted to Kamui. Okay, first of all, Konan's underrated. I can go to a whole tangent about that, but Obito would have lost that fight. He would have died. Could never be Payne. Payne almost dying by Konan. Please. Obito almost died in that battle. So, whichever way you slice it, Konan reacted to him. He was able to damage him, do big damage towards him. Yeah, she had prep, but it doesn't really matter. she was still doing very good even before the Sea of Paper Bombs. Speaking of Konan, Obito, and on top of this now Zetsu, they all believed Payne was invincible. Like, when they found out Payne lost, they were like, no fucking way. Like, there's just reverence towards Payne. Obito's not winning that fight. Now look, you could bring up Kamui or whatnot, but it's just not going to be enough. At best, the only way Obito wins is like, he takes him into Kamui and leaves him there, but that doesn't mean he's stronger. That's really the battlefield removal. It's really the only thing you do, but I don't even think that would work. Payne would just almighty push him, and if there's 6 of these fuckers, he can't do anything. He can't damage them. They're too strong. Look at the Asura Bath. One hit tore Jiraiya's arm off. He tanks a lightning blade. What is Obito doing against these guys? I mean, Payne is just simply violating him. Like, I don't even know if he would need all 6. I think the Diva Path's got this shit. Look. And there's other things he could do that he didn't display, like the chameleon. He could go fucking invisible. How the fuck is Obito gonna know where he is to use Kamui if he's invisible? Or like the Soul Dragon? I don't know. Just like ridiculous shit he didn't even use. Now, Soul Dragon, you could say like, oh, only Nagato can do it, and that's fine. You could say that, but Payne is just, he's insane. But yeah, if you really want to go into it too, there's also the fact that like, they had felt that Payne would have outperformed Sasuke in the 5 Kage Summit. That's another really good feat. It means Payne would have been able to handle all the Kage and all the assistants there with the 6 Paths of Pain, which is also really good, because not only is that Sasuke's performance, it's the performance of all of Team Taka, so Payne would have outperformed all 4 of them, which is also very impressive. Now, look, if you want to go into Itachi, I don't think that's a fight either. And I love Itachi, and obviously I'm talking about sick Itachi. If we're talking healthy, that's going to be close to Edo Itachi, and I think Edo Itachi is closer to Nagato and stronger than Payne. I think that fight's decent too, don't get me wrong, but the fact that Itachi was able to keep up with like KCM Naruto as an Edo is really crazy. That's a ridiculous like speed feat that I don't think Payne has. But sick Itachi is getting his cheeks clapped. Sasuke was able to go hand to hand with him, do very good against him. And yes, Itachi allowed himself to die, but Sasuke was still very competitive with him. Itachi was going crazy like midway through the fight and was trying to get him at some points. And Sasuke did very well. Some would argue that Sasuke actually broke out of the Tsukuyomi, which is very impressive. So, heavy Sasuke's fodder to Payne. I'm just going to be honest. He's pretty ass in comparison to like Sage Naruto and Payne and those upper tiers. So, I don't think Sick Itachi's getting the job done either. Now, look, I'm open to hearing, other things. Like, aside from Kamui, because I think people over-exaggerate Kamui's abilities, because, if you look at the Storm games, which are approved by Kishimoto, Almighty Push activates without even him moving. Like, he could just activate it, and, when he blasts Orochimaru away, so if, like, Obito became, tangible and tried to grab him, he could use Almighty Push. He'd have to go intangible again, but with all 6 of them, like, barraging him, like, Obito's going to have to attack eventually, and it's just not going to work out. But I am open to hearing other arguments that ain't just Kamui. If you got other arguments on like Sick Itachi and Obito, I would love to hear it. And who do you guys think is the strongest character Payne can beat? For me, I think he stops at like Edo Itachi, Sage Kabuto, White Mask Obito. Obviously, White Mask Obito absolutely dog walks him. So where do you guys put him? I think the strongest people he can be are Sick Itachi and Obito. Sage Naruto's another one he beats. Obviously, we saw that. I think he beats KCM Naruto. Not KCM 2. But yeah, who do you guys think is the strongest character Payne can beat? I'm very interested in hearing what you guys have to say. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will await your responses. So if you guys are interested in this type of content, want me to talk about somebody else who you think is underrated, or you want me to talk about someone who you think is overrated, let me know down below and I will do that video for you guys. So I'm out. Bye.